Top 10 countries with the most gold in the world. Gold is a precious and valuable metal, widely used around the world as a means of currency conversion. According to the World Gold Council, WGC, thanks to its safety, profitability and high liquidity, gold is an important component in the reserves of central banks globally. In fact, central banks also hold the largest amount of gold in the world. So, which country holds the largest gold reserves in the world? According to WGC, below are the top 10 countries with the largest gold reserves in the world, as of the third quarter of 2023. 1. America. Gold reserves, 8,133 tons. The U.S. has nearly as much gold reserves as the next three countries combined, with a value of more than $500 billion United States dollars. More than half of this gold is stored in the Fort Knox Gold Vault and gold vaults at the New York Fed. This country has huge gold reserves, probably because they want to ensure that, if there is a contest, who holds the most gold, they will never lose the throne. Perhaps America also wants to make sure that, when someone asks, who is the big guy, they always have a ready answer. 2. Germany. Gold reserves, 3,352 tons. From 2012 to 2017, Germany repatriated most of its huge gold reserves of 674 tons from Paris and New York to Frankfurt. In addition, most of the gold in German warehouses is imported or recycled domestically. After repatriating a large amount of gold from Paris and New York, perhaps Duck just wants to make sure that, if someone comes to visit, they have something huge to show off. And surely, there's nothing better than saying, "Ah, these? They're just gold." 3. Italy. Gold reserves, 2,451 tons. Unlike most other countries, Italy's vast amounts of gold are stored in vaults in Rome, the Swiss Central Bank, the U.S. Federal Reserve and the Bank of England. Although there have been times when the country has faced financial difficulties, the Italian government has no intention of selling this gold reserve to fill the budget hole. It seems that Italy keeps gold everywhere just to make sure that, if someone borrows it and they forget to pay it back, they still have somewhere else to turn to. Just like hiding chocolate in every corner of the house. 4. France. Gold reserves, 2,436 tons. In fact, most of France's gold reserves were acquired in the 1950s and 1960s. This gold is currently stored in the gold vaults of the Bank of France. Over the years, this treasure has remained almost unchanged because the Bank of France has sold very little gold. France kept gold from the 1950s and 1960s and did not sell it, perhaps because they consider gold like cheese, the longer it is kept, the better. And you know, the French and cheese are an enduring love story. 5. Russia. Gold reserves, 2,329 tons. The Central Bank of Russia has been the largest buyer of gold in recent years. This agency has recently increased its gold accumulation to diversify assets and avoid dependence on the US dollar. In addition, Russia is also the third largest gold producer in the world, with about 300 tons per year, just behind China and Australia. The Russian central bank buys gold as if they're trying to catch up with the US, like, "Oh man, you see, I have this too." And they also produce gold, probably so they never have to say, "sold out," when someone asks to buy it. 6. China. Gold reserves, 2,113 tons. China is the largest gold producer in the world, accounting for 12% of global mine output. In addition, this is also a large gold consumer and reserve country. In the first 3 quarters of 2023 alone, gold consumption demand in China has reached 835 tons, due to the increase in the middle class. Recently, the Central Bank of China has increased gold reserves to prevent inflation. At the rate it is buying and producing gold, it seems like China is trying to build a new Great Wall, but with gold. I imagine they thought, if it can't be seen from space, then maybe we need more gold. 7. Switzerland. Gold reserves, 1,040 tons. Although only ranked 7th, Switzerland is the country that owns the largest gold reserves per capita in the world. Switzerland's gold mainly comes from imports. Currently, they are stored at the Swiss Central Bank and serve as a financial mainstay in this country. Switzerland has the largest amount of gold per capita in the world. Maybe they thought, if we can't be the biggest country, then let's be the country with the most gold per person. Quite an interesting approach, isn't it? 8. Japan. Gold reserves, 845.9 tons. As the third largest economy in the world, Japan's gold reserves are managed by the country's central bank. Because there are limited domestic gold reserves, Japan mainly conducts gold import activities. With its gold reserves, Japan seems to want to prove that it is not only good at producing technology and anime. Gold is also on our list of interests, friend. 9. India. Gold reserves. 800 tons. India is the second largest gold consumer in the world, 2022. However, most of the gold in this country must be imported. During the festival and wedding season, which lasts from October to December every year, gold trading activities in India take place very vibrantly. This is also a favorable business time for many gold companies. With its love and passion for gold, perhaps India is trying to ensure that every wedding can be beautifully decorated with gold. You need gold for your wedding? We have enough, don't worry. 10. Netherlands. Gold reserves. 612 tons. The Netherlands is the 10th largest country in terms of gold reserves in the world. Previously, in 2014, the Netherlands repatriated 20% of its gold reserves from the U.S. Federal Reserve's warehouses in New York to Amsterdam. In recent years, this country's gold reserves have not changed. After repatriating gold from the U.S., perhaps the Netherlands just wants to make sure that, if anyone asks about their treasure, they have it. Can proudly point to Amsterdam and say, there, right there, at my house.